Hey everybody, AZ Badfish here. Welcome back to PrimeFools. Man, it's been a little while since I've been able to record, you guys. Had some family over for the weekend, which is cool. It's always a good time. But I don't really like recording for an audience, and the way my house is set up, that's the only way I'd have been able to record. So I just went ahead and didn't. But in the last episode, we got our quantum ring set up, we got our telepad set up, and since then I have actually done a bit of work down in the Subterranean Ops area. So let's go check it out. We can teleport over there. Aha! Looking a little bit different, yeah? So there's a couple of rooms here, and I guess we can just kind of go over stuff a little bit at a time. So this is pretty much all factory blocks, as I'm sure you guys are used to by now. I've got some painted glowstone on the floor, because even though I've got these sea lanterns in the ceiling, it's not quite bright enough to get all of it, so I just got some painted glowstone on the floor. I think this area's looking pretty sweet. This is laboratory blocks, similar to the factory blocks, which we might have actually talked about in the last episode. I can't remember, but yeah, these are chiseled to the screen pattern, and this is pretty much the palette that we've got through most of the complex down here, and these are laboratory blocks as well. There's a really cool mod in this pack called Melissa's Doors. Melissa's Doors. I don't know. Malice's doors. There's a whole bunch of different types of doors you can make, and you can even create a door factory and make custom doors that are similar to all the doors that are, already existing, but you can use them with different textures and whatnot. It's pretty awesome. So some of the ones I've used, this is a high-tech door, and now I've also got these dark pressure plates. You can't see them because they're invisible. They're painted with quite clear glass. They're also the silent version. They're super easy to make. I think they're pretty sweet. So if you look it up, I'll show you real quick. The dark pressure plate's just 2 pieces of dark steel. And then you take that pressure plate, put it on a piece of wool, and you get the silent version. And then you put it in a painting machine with quite clear glass, and it's invisible. So it's sweet. It all acts like a sensor. And all of these doors operate with redstone. Some of them have to be operated with redstone, but most of them can also be operated with your hand. So in here is my little computer room, and as you noticed, I picked up an energy acceptor right as I walked in here. That is a problem that happens every single time I teleport to this area. I don't know why it happens, but every single time, without fail, this energy acceptor just pops off and is just hanging out. I have no idea why that happens. If any of you guys know why that happens, please let me know down in the comments, because it's super annoying. I have to run in here every time. Because I don't want to lose it. I've actually already lost one, so yeah. But this is a cool looking room. I like this. This is chiseled basalt, looking pretty fancy in here. So there's not much to that room. I've just got the quantum ring. That's where our ME systems are linked together. I've got a wireless adapter in there, and so yeah, now I can access my system from this panel in the wall, which is pretty cool. I thought about just having like a hanging wire, because I don't really like how the ME conduit facades don't connect. But I don't think that looks too bad. So okay, over here, in this room, this is a pretty cool room. We're gonna do some work in here, but again, we got factory blocks, we got the screen block, the same ceiling block, but over here, this is ineffable glass. This is a pretty sweet block. It acts just like glass, it's transparent, it lets light through, but the ineffable glass, players can actually go through it, but mobs cannot. So we are sealed in here, but if we ever need to get out easily, and if we want to check out what it looks like from up here, we can see that yet. Did a bit of vein mining, trying to get a single piece of Scallium. But yeah. So that is this room, and in here we're going to throw a bunch of storage drawers. We're going to set up a quarry in here. We're going to have automatic mining down here. That is going to be pretty sweet. We're going to work on that later in this episode. Lastly, across here in this third area that I've got done so far, now this is probably the most work I've done, is in here. I like this door. This is pretty sweet. So this is all basalt, again, chiseled basalt, factory blocks and stuff. This is my power plant. I've moved my Scallium reactor down here, and this is working pretty good. I got to figure out, there's some weird quirkiness with the power, and I'm not really sure what's going on. I can show you guys some of that. But yeah, this is the dimensional transceiver now that is set to send power into the main reactor channel. I got my dragon egg mill here. This is generating 500 grid power for me, so that is pretty sweet. We're going to be moving the water mills down here also, so I've got that laid out, and the chunk loader, of course, so that we can have all our power available to us at all times. So that's pretty sweet. So that's what I've got going on down here. I guess, yeah, as soon as the animation starts, you can actually go through the door, by the way. It's the same as vanilla doors. Okay, so in here, we are going to get our quarry going. And what we're going to do is we're going to use that builder block. Now, you guys remember the builder block from before, maybe. I don't think this is going to be its permanent location. And before I really get started with this, I need to make sure I have its permanent location. But for right now, I can show you guys. You guys remember before, we used this builder block and the shape card to build out some of our domes. We used it to build the big sphere for our greenhouse or biodome. And now I'm going to be using it with... I've changed the shape card, and I can show you guys what you need to do that. So let's see, go to the quarry. This is a clearing silk quarry, which means it's going to silk touch everything, and it's going to actually remove all the blocks in the area that I've defined. So to make one of those, you surround a normal silk quarry card with glass. To make a silk quarry card, you take a normal quarry card, and you surround it with diamonds, these dimensional shards, and a nether star. Dimensional shards are actually pretty simple to make once you've got all the chickens and stuff like I do. So this is all it takes to make that. That's pretty simple. So yeah, and then you just use the shape card that we started with, and you surround it with this stuff. So I did a bit of crafting and stuff off camera, but yeah, this is about as far as I got. So now what I've got to do is we're gonna have to find a way to, well, find a way. We're gonna have to run power into this room so that we can have the builder block be powered. And this guy takes a lot of power. Like, he's fully powered right now, but once we start with the quarry, this is gonna get drained very quickly. So we're gonna have power hooked up. We're gonna need to get some storage drawers going. We're gonna need to do a couple things. So I guess I will start crafting. And you know what else? I need to move an ME terminal in here. I think somewhere around here maybe would be good. All right, I've got a chest here. Put a chest, and then I'll grab my item conduits, and we're just going to take everything out of here. Where do I want to run this? Let's see. Insert, and then come on. Sometimes I gotta trick it. We just run it like this, I suppose. Looks good. Looks good. All right. So this is hooked up now. Ooh, you know what I need? I don't have one. Do I have one in here? I do. Nice. Because you got to activate it with the lever. The way it's configured right now, anyway. So before we can obviously get started, we need to figure out what to do with this shape card. So if you remember before, this was on dome or sphere or whatever. Right now I've got it set to solid box. Now I want this to dig out quite a big area. So I want it to dig out a 100 by 100 by 20 blocks high, big old block of space. Right now we would be very, very careful with this builder block, because I want to make absolutely sure that this is not going to dig away any of our base, basically, because it will. So the first one is going to be the trickiest, right? So this is all, you've got to kind of think of these as you are the builder block. So the offset is what's important here. I want to make sure that I'm at least 100 blocks away from the offset. And actually, I don't even think I need it to be 100 blocks. I only think I need it to be 50 blocks. So you know what? Let's be smart. I have messed with this before, so I do kind of know what I'm doing. But let's be a little bit smarter here, and kind of figure out. Well, actually, now that I think about it, that's not going to help us too much because I'll still have to refigure out the numbers. All right, so here's what I want to do. We will we'll get the size that we want. And now let's think about this. So offset, let's just get an idea. And now this works on coordinates, right? So let's say I want to see what this is going to look like, right? And let's actually start it over here somewhere. Let's say so that part of it is in the wall and then part of it is out here. Yeah. So why don't we move it this direction by, say, 50 blocks, yeah? We'll move it west 50 and then north. And then north an additional 50. So, right, that's negative x and then negative z by 50 each, right? So we'll say 50 here and then 50 here. Now I think it puts it in the middle is where the offset is. So I kind of want to see, I think if I set that at 10, this should get me all 20 blocks. Now the cool thing about this builder block is as long as I don't accidentally, you know what, for right now, let's just remove that so I don't accidentally hit that. We'll put our shape card in. We can click on this preview mode. Now that's not good. So that is bad. This would have destroyed a good chunk of our base. What happened here? This should have gone this way and then this way. Oh, it's negatives. I did positives, didn't I? Okay. Let's grab our card back out. And we will, whoops, do like this. So I need negative 50, offset, negative 50. Okay, and then you click off of it, make sure it saves. Click it back in there, reset the preview. Alright, so that's a little better, right? Now we can see it's actually one block high. So we, oh, get out of here, these things. Alright. The preview mode is super helpful, even though it can be a pain to work around sometimes. So this is good. So I can see here that I need to lower this by one block, and I clearly need to move this again further north, which is negative z. All right, that's really close here. So it looks like we're 1, 2, 3 off. So let's go ahead and move that by 3, and we want it to move west by 3, which west is negative x. So just do this. So by 3, so minus 53, because we're heading in the negative direction. Slap that back in there, turn the preview on, and we should be flush with the wall. We can't see it. But if we look in here, we can actually see the places where it does go back far enough, we can see that our preview blocks are there. So that's what I wanted to see. So we're not flush with this wall. We should be safe. Okay, so another cool thing about this shape card, if you look down here at the bottom, I can actually void items that I don't want any of. So like I can say void the stone, void the cobble, void sand, or void dirt, and void gravel. Sand we're probably not going to encounter. We're obviously not going to encounter any netherrack. So I can void those items, and that is pretty sweet, and that's really handy. And I thought it might be neat if, maybe let's break in here, if we had some sort of display, right? So we knew how much of each of those items we had, and if I ever wanted to turn off the void, so I start collecting them, I have an easy way to see that, and as it so happens with this game, I do. Oh, give me that back. I want it to come in here. So I'm going to run these ME cables like this. And now what I've got here is another type of panel you can make called the storage monitor. It's crafted in a similar way to the crafting terminal, but you just slap them directly on here. And then what you can do is right click them with an item, and it will display how much of that item you currently have in your system. So that is really handy to have, I think. So let's grab a bit of stone here. And we also had dirt and gravel. I guess I already had a piece of stone. But yeah, so actually I want the stone to be first, and then the cobblestone, and then the dirt, and then the gravel. So that is looking pretty sweet, and then we can just put our facades on, and again, they don't connect, but I think it's okay. I think it's alright. Actually, it kind of looks cool. It gives it a little bit more of an even border. So, that's pretty cool. So now we can see, yeah, I've got 11,000 stone. I don't really need to be getting any. I've got almost 1,000 cobblestone. I'm probably good. Nearly 10k. Yes, so you get the idea. I think that's really handy. So this is now connected up. None of these are locked. And I don't want to lock them yet because they're not connected to the... they're not actually connected to the ME system yet. I will eventually. But yeah, hit it with the quantify key. That should make it so when items start coming in, we'll be able to see how much. But once I start seeing what all items we're going to be getting in here, I'll go ahead and lock them all and then connect it up to the storage with the storage bus so that we can access all of these items that we're going to be getting. Speaking of getting items, I think we're ready for this. Our preview is good. We know we're not going to be destroying any of our base. It's got power. I'm not really sure what this is going to do to our power system. It's already having problems. I think we just need some more scallium so that we can have a bigger reactor, and this is a good way to do it. So if we click this button like this, we can now see, all right, it's moving really quickly. It's gone through a whole chunk already, and I don't know if I'll be able to see it yet because I think it starts in the northwest corner. So we'll have to wait a while for it to clear a path so that we can actually see where it is. Yeah, that builder block is definitely giving us power issues. We definitely don't have enough. And the thing is, here's what I'm not sure about, right? So this system, this reactor, is giving us passive RF generation, and it's great, right? So this capacitor is trying to fill up, but it's not able to because currently it's got a bigger drain on it than it does what's coming in from here. And that drain is going through the dimensional transceiver, and right now the biggest draw is, of course, that builder's block. Ignore that painting machine for right now. So yeah, this guy is just sucking up a ton of power, and this is holding steady. I guess if we watch, it's not, the numbers on here cannot possibly be accurate because this is drawing power from it, right? So, and it's drawing quite a bit. I don't really know, short of getting this guy his own, I wish there was a way I could throttle the amount of power this is able to pull. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what? There is a way I can do that. If I back this up, and actually I don't need this capacitor at all. You notice the numbers aren't changing? It's not doing anything. There is a way I can change. I can use the smaller cables. Do I have any? Yeah, these guys have a max output of 640 RF per tick. That is not a lot, but it's about half as much as being drained right now. So let's try that out. Alright, well that doesn't look like it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. So it is like limiting how much power, but now it's like limiting how much power it's able to get. Always active. Oh. Derp. There we go. Alright. Oh, okay. I feel a little bit better now. So this is working. It's just working. It's going to be working a bit slower. Now, it's not going to be constantly putting stuff in here because it's, it's going through a lot of stone and stuff, and it's voiding it. So that is working. It is moving slower. Let's go see what the numbers look like now on the actual reactor capacitor. Yeah, see, it's gone down, almost half, I would say. What was it, like 1,400 or something like that? So, yeah, now it's around 900. So that's definitely what our issue is. And I think, we're not really okay, but hopefully, we've got, nearly 100 million RF in here. So hopefully we'll be able to get some more scallium before we completely run out of power there. And actually, that makes me wonder now, what is the power like at my home base? If we pop on over here. So this guy's full. All these machines should be full. I can't look at those. That's full. Let's go look at the capacitor itself. Capacitor, full, holding steady, looking good. That's good. this was struggling for a bit when I first moved the reactor, but this looks like it's been able to catch up now. So yeah, I think the power is pretty sorted. I was worried that I was going to have issues. I mean, of course, the builder block is pulling that massive amount, but up here is not having issues, and that's cool. That's something I was worried about. Now we can see it really well, and I don't think I mentioned it, but it actually will eat source blocks of fluids too. So when it gets to this lava, it's actually going to get rid of it, which is pretty neat. So all the stuff you see flowing like down here, this is all just because it came from these sources. So once the builder gets down here and eats them up, this will all disappear on its own. We don't even have to do anything. Well, if you ever wanted a visual representation of how rare Scalium is, there you go. So we've got like 500 redstone, 700 iron, 77 diamonds, 1 Scalium. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take this now, and we're going to hopefully make something from it. All right, so it's probably looking a little different in here. This builder block, my quarry has been busy, you guys. Oh, we got some friends up there. You know what's cool? I can actually shoot them through the glass. That's pretty sweet. So yeah, as you can see, I've got a big wall of drawers here just collecting all the different items. I think I showed you this already, actually, but this thing has really been trucking away. I've had some issues with it, though. I had a big problem, actually, earlier with power. By the way, this is a full day later. This has been running for quite a while, and I've definitely been noticing some power issues. Let me kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. The main problem is that my ME system and that builder block both seem to take a lot of power. Earlier today, my whole ME system was shut down for most of the day because of the way that the dimensional transceiver operates with power. So we see I've got all these machines and stuff up here. It's got its own capacitor bank. All these machines are completely full. In fact, everything in this base has got its own capacitor bank. I've got a capacitor bank for the chickens. I've got one at the biodome. So really, this capacitor bank is only connected to other capacitor banks and the energy acceptor, the primary energy acceptor for the ME system. This, as you can see, is slowly draining. And earlier today, it was completely empty. I had to mess around with dimensional transceivers and do all kinds of stuff, and eventually I got it filled back up. And then once it filled back up, everything over at the Subterranean Ops started draining, and it's kind of going back and forth. What I don't understand is it seems like these things will only power one thing at a time. So maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's what it feels like. What is definitely a problem is that I don't have enough power for everything. So I kind of want to head back. Whoops. Whoop. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's get back on the ground here. Okay. I want to head back over there and kind of maybe think about what we can do to fix this problem. Obviously, the biggest thing that we can do to fix the problem is get more scallium, right? Like I've expanded the reactor a bit more. There's some open space in here now. I've got 19 scallium blocks. 19 scallium blocks. I think they do something like 120 RF per tick a piece, something like that. I don't know for sure. Again, because I don't have an actual way to see those numbers. But I could get more scallium blocks, which is basically what I'm doing with this builder block, right? I just gotta wait for more to show up. The problem is they're super rare, right? So we're gonna have to, I think, temporarily at least, come up with another solution. So I've been kind of looking at generators. There's a whole bunch of them. I'm not sure what's the best because, again, it doesn't give me numbers in here. So it's kind of going to be either a, trial and error, or do I want to just pick one? So I've been looking at these biofuel generators, and these produce 160 RF per tick. If I had 5 of these things, I'd be getting 800 RF per tick, which is more than this is currently getting, because again, this conduit is throttling it to 640. So if I had 5 of those biofuel generators, I could produce more power than it's currently getting, and then I could disconnect it entirely from the dimensional transceiver, and then in theory, I should have plenty of power to power everything else. but that is going to require some doing. All right, as luck would have it, I've already got a biofuel drum set up and a cow going, so this has been going for quite a while. It looks like 7 million buckets, and I just saw some more coming in, so that cow's still up there. That's good. We can set this up very similar to what I've got going with my what is it, Do with the Void for the telepad. So all I've got to do really is, actually I am going to have to get under here first. Let's grab our fluid conduit. I don't need those. We can stick that on here. Set this to extract, always active. And actually we'll just go ahead and plop this guy right there. We're going to set this to insert. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go into the fluid and we're going to create another one, and this is going to be AZ Biofuel. I'm going to lock that guy, and then we're going to add the channel and then put the channel in the send. So this is now sending biofuel into the dimensional transceivers. So that is pretty sweet. Okay, so biofuel generators, got them going. Running into some issues though. So these are all been going for a while, and you can see this one's full. This one's pretty much full. This one's pretty much full. I mean, they're all pretty basically full. I can't figure out how to get power out of them. You know, I put the capacitor bank down, right? I take my Ender IO energy conduits, which seems like it should work, right? Extract, plop it here. I got nothing. 0 RF per tick. Okay, what if I set this to insert? Nothing. Same thing. So I've tried to use different types, right? Well, maybe it only works with these lower ones. Nothing. Still nothing. Even if I force it, extract, insert, you know, I get nothing. So I don't understand what's going on here. I thought this would work. You know what is interesting though, is if I take this capacitor bank, right, and I put it right next to the thing, suddenly it's getting power. And when you know it, 160 RF per tick, which is how much these things put out. So what am I doing wrong, guys? What am I doing wrong? Help me out here. I think for now, I'm going to just make a couple of 1 million, a couple basic capacitor banks to each take power from that, and then run all those into this for now. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you know what I'm doing wrong there. Okay, so biofuel generators have all been reconfigured to power up into these capacitors, and these capacitors are feeding this capacitor, which is feeding the builder block. So this is now operating entirely independently of the Scalium reactor, which is pretty awesome. This has actually been running overnight for quite a while. As you can see, we've busted into even more of the stronghold that I think I forgot to mention. There's actually an end portal like right around there somewhere up in the ceiling. But yeah, as I said, this has been running for a while. You can see I've got some Scalium built up, which is very nice to see. What's also really nice to see is if we run back in here into the main power room, we can see that this capacitor bank is full, which is sweet. The only way this is going to start retaining power is if everything else in the system is completely filled up, which means that our base should be good to go, which means that separating that builder block from the main reactor system was the answer to our problem, at least for now. And yeah, this capacitor is also full. So that is great. It seems like for now, our power problems have been resolved. Everything in the base is operating smoothly. The Subterranean Ops is good to go for now. We're obviously going to be adding some stuff to it real soon, actually. Some stuff that I'm pretty excited about. But yeah, I think we'll go ahead and call this an episode for now, you guys. A bit of a longer one. Sorry about that. If you did like it, hit that like button. Leave me a comment down below if you've got any ideas on the problems that we had or suggestions, things you want to see me do. If you enjoyed the content, don't want to miss anything, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check out the other PrimeFools. Their links are in my description as always. And until next time, you guys, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.